but I thought the market was gonna go down. Where?
What's up, people? Quick insanity check. You know, the purest definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, if you don't know, we haven't gone down on a Tuesday during this bull market probably in the last 1,800 years. That's right, that's a statistical fact. We have not gone down on a Tuesday since any of us have been born. Take a look. It's pretty wild stuff. Tuesdays, for some reason, are now the greatest days ever. All kidding aside, we haven't gone down on a Tuesday. I think it's now 19 weeks in a row. So why would you think yesterday would be that day? I know you didn't. I know you're fully anchored into the bull movement that we're having right now. Finally, right? You're finally getting the point that the market can't go down. Oh, but if you are finally getting the point, does that mean maybe there's a top coming? Now, we spoke at a meetup yesterday and to our rookie traders, and everybody wanted to know how to know when to sell. Now, of course, nobody knows when to sell because you never know when the market's going to stop going up. In theory, it shouldn't stop going up because the natural progression of Earth is onward and upward of humankind. So in theory, there is no top. That's why I get mad when people start talking about a top. A top is in when it is put in. What I mean is there will be a time where the market hits a spot and then for a week or so can't break that spot. So that officially is momentarily your top. Just let me point out, we don't really need to trade today because we bet against the Knicks again. And I said if you want to have some real free money, let's put the stock market aside for a second and just bet against the Knicks. I mean, I used to be a Knicks fan, but Isaiah Thomas, I don't know what you had over the Dolans. I thought that you tainted the franchise, and I've been not only not a non-Knicks fan, I have grown to hate the Knicks for allowing Isaiah Thomas to come in and ruin the franchise. Anyway, you know it's over, right? You know it's over. The Knicks have never come back from a 3-1 deficit in the playoffs ever. You do know it's over. So what you do is you keep betting against them. Anyway, yesterday was the free money. Now, money's off the table. I don't care if they win or they lose. I might take some of the money and put it on them, put it on the Pacers. But again, yesterday was the game. So let's talk about this market, okay? I'm glad that you guys, it's amazing that you're finally starting to roll into my room. I think it's the cheap stocks. There's something about the cheap stocks. And I guess that's what it is because most chat rooms out there are penny stocks and low-priced stocks. So I gave you the AMD, I gave you the MCP, and suddenly there's more people showing up at the room. Now again, AMD, it's the new Netflix, it's a new Tesla. But let's go back for a second, not knowing when to sell. I bought Tesla at 28 bucks. I bought more at 30. I bought more at 33. I bought so much at 33 that brought my cost average up to around 31 and change. So when that stock got to 35, I took a little bit off the table. And of course, it coincided with the earnings report 2 quarters ago when it was at 40. And 40 was my target. So one way of investing is buying a stock, having a target. If it gets there, you sell. When I bought GMCR at 20 bucks, what did I think could happen? I thought maybe within a year or so, the stock could go up 100%. And if you're thinking as an investment, 100% on your money on an investment in less than 4 years? Because that used to be when I was growing up. When I was growing up, if you can make 100% of your money in 7 years, you were doing fine. Then it became 4 years. If you could double your money in 4 years, you were a pro. Then it became 5 years, then back to 3 years, not 3 months. So, again, I am the reluctant bull. I'm a closet bear. I don't like the stock market. I don't really believe in all of this. I am one of those doomsday guys waiting in the wings for the downfall of society. Because I see the nasty out there. I see the naughty out there. I see the awfulness, and it penetrated my soul. Plus, I was brought up as a pessimist. I was brought up that nothing's going to go my way. Everybody's out to get me. Thanks, Mom. And one good thing about being a pessimist is that when something does go your way, you are actually pleasantly surprised. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Anyway, so where are we at now? There are a few key levels that we're waiting to see if they could be broken on the downside, and we may short stocks. But other than that, no shorting. Now, Tesla, give us the perfect example of when to short a stock. You see a stock break an all-time high, then it goes negative. Generally, that stock will follow through to the downside that day and generally 3 days after. But Tesla is something that nobody can value right now. It's a whole different thing. It's not a car company. It's a revolution. You can't short the revolution. GMCR, another one. Netflix, another one. Why even bother? But more important, let's bring it back. What stock did I say would be the one that's going to save everybody's portfolio if you could afford it? Google owns. Huh? Remember the video I made back when I walked into the bank and I asked them to borrow money? I found some other footage. I walked into a bank, okay, and I know the video is going over 5 minutes, so I'm going to lose some of you right there. I walked into a bank and I asked them, can I speak to the small business loan department? And, I got in there somewhere and I got into a back room and I tried to tape it. I got some. And I said, I'd like to borrow $1.5 million. And they asked me what? I said, I'd like to start a company called I Heart Google. What do you do? What is it about? I said, I'd like to buy 2,000 shares of Google at $4.85 and then use the rest of the money just in case the stock pulls back so I could buy more. So I just wanted to buy 2,000 shares of Google. And the guy's looking at me like, wait, what's the business? I'm like, I need your money so I can buy 2,000 shares of Google because if it breaks 620, I believe it can go to 1,000. And then when it goes to 1,000, I'll sell it and I'll give you your money back in full with percentages and we'll all be happy. And he's staring at me like, what are you talking about? And then I had busted out a chart out of my, I had a chart wrinkled up in my bag, in my jacket. And I was like, well, you see, Google had a hard time breaking 620 3 different times. So I believe if it could go from 500 to 620 and break out, it could go right to 1,000 or at least 775 all-time highs. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's my business plan. Could I borrow $1.2 million or I think it was 1.2, 1.5. And he didn't want to lend me the money. But if he would have lent me the money, I'd still have 2,000 shares of Google at about, I think it was 505 or 520 at the time. I got to find that footage for you. I have some of it, but it's so unclear. All right, but let's talk more about what's happening now. We are when the market's going down, some people call it a death spiral. It feeds on itself. It gets worse and worse. Now we are in the upward spiral. The shorts, every once in a while, see something imaginary that makes them think the market might start selling off. They get short. The market doesn't go down. They have to cover. More buying comes in. That's it. There it is. I explained the bull market to you. A couple days go by. The market doesn't go down. The shorts have to cover. Then, of course, these technicians, these geniuses, these doomsday guys, these people that think they see something, the smart money see something, and next thing you know, they're shorting the market again, and then they're covering, and then so forth and so on. All right. More importantly, get to the room, kids. Come on. Come on. We're packaging the deals together because right now everybody in the room, everybody's made money on the AMD, on the MCP. So if you haven't been there yet, and I know this is another psychological barrier for you, because I could sit here and I could give great ideas and good stock picks over and over again, but you're out there thinking,
The one that I'm going to do is going to be terrible. He's going to give me that one stinker.
now here's the thing. If I do give you a trade intraday and it starts to go down, you know what you could do? Sell it. That's right. All you got to do is press the button, lose a couple of pennies. Do you think that when a stock starts going against us, we just sit there and stare at it?
It's not working.
3 cents, 6 cents, 8 cents, 12 cents. Those are big losses for me. I don't take losses. You understand? I hit the button as soon. That's why I'm always complaining about stocks that go up without me. Because sometimes I sell prematurely. Against me or for me, doesn't matter. But it does preserve the capital. If I don't like the way the trade feels, within seconds I might dump it. And you will too. Because if you ever utter the phrase, let's see what happens, it generally gets worse. Oh, I'm going to hold this overnight. Maybe it'll gap up and now I won't have to take this loss. I'd hate to take this loss. I'd hate to take this loss, but I'd love to take it 12 times bigger than it should be in 3 days from now. Take the loss, kids. It feels good when you take the loss because then you're moving on. Moving on. Let it go. You'll have another trade 2 days from now. You'll have another MCP or DDD rallying 30 points or Q-Core. You do realize Q-Core's up 15 points since we bought that thing? What the hell is that all about? QCOR? All right, 10 minutes. You can't take it anymore. All right, you know where to find me. Come on, see what's happening. Go get your free trial. Do what you got to do. And we're packaging everything together soon. So we have a lot of chat rooms in the Affinity Network, if you didn't know that. We also have an education company that we train new traders. So any of those things appeal to you, just let me know. And I'll be here to help you. Remember, because my room is basically for everybody. Sure, we help the novice trader, but what we like to do is we teach you all the little tricks of the trade and what you're looking at, and basically, right across the board. But then you come to my room and we show it in action. All right.